All right, guys, so this video is going to help you to decide how to approach a problem and how to factor it. So I call it the Algebra 2-1 factoring strategy because when you get to higher levels of math, this might not always work. This strategy I'm about to show you works because of the limited types of factoring we're doing right now. Just keep that in mind when you get to future math classes. So the first thing you always want to do is check to see if a problem has a GCF. Always do that first. Factor out the GCF and put it in front. Then, after you do your GCF, you're going to have three decisions. Do you have a binomial? Do you have a trinomial? Or do you have 4 or more terms? If you have let's do 4 terms first. If you have 4 terms in Algebra 2, Level 1, you're going to go with the grouping method. Again, in different courses that are more advanced than this, 4 terms might be a different method, but in this class, 4 terms indicates to you that you're going to do grouping method. If you have a binomial, so 2 terms, you're going to be using either a difference of 2 cubes formula, so see if you have perfect cubes, things that can be raised to the 3rd power, and it would either be a difference of 2 cubes or maybe a sum of 2 cubes. So make sure you pay attention to whether you have a minus sign or a plus sign in the middle. Also falling into this category would be a difference of 2 squares. So see if you have something like a squared minus b squared. Remember that there's no such thing as a sum of 2 squares. Sum of 2 squares does not exist. When you're looking at your difference of 2 squares, you should also consider things that are considered a quadratic form. So for example, a to the 4th minus b to the 4th is also considered a difference of 2 squares problem. And then if you have a trinomial, you're thinking of what I call the double bubble, right? So see if you can factor it the traditional way that you've first learned how to factor a quadratic trinomial. But now we're adding on to that quadratic forms. So if you have a trinomial, look to see if it can be a double bubble. It might not be x squared double bubble. It might be x to the 4th double bubble or x to the 6th double bubble. And again, pay attention to the middle term here. It has to be x squared where the b is, and then x to the 4th with the a, and x to the 3rd and x to the 6th. If you have something like ax to the 4th plus bx plus c, that's not a quadratic form, right? So this is the approach I would take and kind of follow one of these paths as you go through your factoring. I hope you guys find this helpful.